back on site. A little rain last night, not much, but a beautiful day we got here to dig. Everything's laid out, got all my tools I need. Transported the skid steer this morning. Gonna get this house dug today, at least the basement area and the connector to the garage. There's our benchmark. Top of wall will be 1 foot above that. We'll grab the prints in a minute to go through them. All I got to do is put my 3-foot over dig all the way around this thing. Let's check out the print, what we got here. Isometric sketch here of the foundation. Now, this is a totally different foundation what we're used to. This is a tilt up, superior walls, precast. These are all going to be set on 8 inches of bed of stone. And here's the garage. 9-foot walls, 4-foot walls, 5-foot step up. I do like the shelving in the back, so the garage floor will sit on that all the way around. Pretty cool. This is the shape of the house. This is the house, the main basement. Here's a connector, which is also basement, and goes into the garage. There's a little porch back here, screened in porch. We'll have to put 2 precast piers at some point, and the septic will be over here. That's that. It's a good thing I brought my 200-foot tapes today. Usually when you get a foundation pinned out, you don't need them. But the guy that pinned it left a crucial point out where the garage meets the connector. We're missing some stakes right here, which would be this one right there. We're missing that stake, so I'm gonna lay it out. Unbelievable. We got her in. String line, straight line. That's the best way to paint. Throw that string line on your marks and paint the line right up. Overextend your lines like I always do, so you know where they are. All right, first scoop. Gotta play a little trickery with the laser because of the elevation difference. It is going to play. I gotta dig this backwards for a bit, then reset the laser right here where the excavator is to the left, because that's not where I'm going to be putting dirt. I didn't have the elevation. There's that much change in this ground over here. We're, 5 feet difference in elevation from the garage to this back corner. So once I get my grade established, then I'll reset the laser down here to the grade that I'm making here, if that makes sense to you, and I'll be able to dig it the correct way. Right now I'm digging it downhill, as you would say, and in a typical cut, you put yourself on the upper side of it and dig into it instead of pull it to you, which I did that down in Windham because I had to, because I was on a cliff. But let me get the grade and I'll catch you guys in a bit. All right, everything's reset. I got the laser on the boom. As you see, it's green. Green means go. Blue and red, and it will beep really loud if it's wrong, and it will do, well, as you'll see, watch, I'll raise it, and it goes red. And then if I go too deep, it goes blue. If it's on the right side, the laser's upside down, which it doesn't matter as long as you're late. You just got to know the colors are the opposite. But usually you like to put it on the left side, but the laser has to be right over there. So we'll work with it. The machine will get worked around. It'll be on the right side in a minute. I'll switch it back over once we get established. Just get my dirt a long ways away, as far as possible, away from the hole, so you can work around it. Concrete trucks, etc., whatever you need. Again, this isn't a conventional build, so everything's a little bit different. Get to my line, pull it on through, because my laser's good now, so don't make. And I also got the backup on the stick, so I can get down in the hole. I think something's not right. Just gonna cut this back wall line, and then what I like to do is cut your lines first to keep them nice and true, and then work off of that. If you try to get out a foot or two away from that line first, the bucket will automatically taper, and it won't be pleasant for you. It all depends on what kind of ground you're in. If you're in sand, then it's okay, but always try to get your lines where they need to be. I got a paint can over to the right. I gotta make sure I move that because you know I will bury it. Well, let's get this dig going, and we'll catch back to you guys when we get some grade going, you know. Definitely gonna need a lot of fill over on this side, which we knew. I just readjusted the laser, got it on the left side, got my grade. I'm halfway in the hole. Now just playing the bailing game. I got my lines cut on the back side. You know, we hit some boulders and stuff, so your lines can get off. You're not digging in sand or nice pure clay. It's so it gets you can get off, you know, 6 inches on your line, which, so what? You got a little bigger over dig. But for the most part, carve your line in small increments. Don't try to grab full buckets when you're grabbing your line, so you don't grab a big rock and throw your bucket off as you pull. There's even a rock this size right here where I'm about to grab will do it if it's stuck in the bag. And right here, we're not pulling grade or nothing. You're just curling that bucket, getting as much as you can in it in one shot. You know, just hit it and then just curl that bucket. Boom. Don't pull the stick in. So I'm about halfway on the foundation right there on my cut. So the rest I can reach and bail out the back, which is going to be wicked nice. Just putting it all over here, and I'm, you know, I may have to jump in the dozer and push this pile so I can get back a little bit further. Just so depends, you know, that's why the dozer's here. Push it around, keep your piles nice and neat. What's nice about this superior wall system now is the bottom, obviously you want perfect, you know, within an inch of grade. You know, when we're doing regular work, it has to be a little more finicky, but with the superior wall, we have to put 8 inches minimum of stone in the bottom. So if you got 10 inches of stone in the bottom, if you're down 1.5 inches, you just got 1.5 inches more stone in that area. So it doesn't have to be as precise as if you were digging a conventional dig. Because like I said, we got to dump 8 inches of stone in here and then grade it out with the skid steer in the bottom before the walls come. So as long as you're deep enough to get your stone depth, be good to go. Good to go. I'm excited about seeing these superior walls. I know Dozer Dennis did one. He's got a video of one. I got to check that out, refresh my memory on that. And then the other thing is I do have the 4-foot diesel bucket on here. Do love this bucket. It does bail some material, I tell you. We're hitting a little bit of shale. We got a little water down in the hole, which we knew we would, and it's not as bad as I thought. I did bring the pump just in case. Just bailing. Loving it. Just loving being in this seat. Beautiful day. Moving dirt. It's not even like I'm working, and that's the truth. Got the glare on the sun, on the windshield. You guys might not be able to see down in that hole, but it is what it is. I can't help that. Maybe I gotta get some tin. If I get another excavator, I'll tin it out. This one I'm not gonna do. I'd like to get the dozer tinted though. So keep grabbing your line and then take the center out. I'm on the right side of the house, the front right corner, and there's a Kobelco door basically where this right here where that pile is. I'll have to move that, but see, I'm notching this, and I got that all the grade, and then I'll take out this section right here. But so if I took out this section first and worked my way to the line, your line's just not going to be as straight, and it's harder to get that line after you, especially if you're deep and you're in hard ground. You'll just burn the side of the bucket, and it will taper severely in the hole. You won't get it, you know, you'll be a foot difference from the top of the cut to the bottom on the sidewall, most likely. That's my experience. You see all these rocks rolling out of the side of the bank, that's what gives you an ugly trench. Very rarely do we have pretty trenches anywhere here in New York. We're either digging clay, shale, gravel. Even if gravel, it digs easy, but it's so soft, it just rolls out. The banks keep caving in. Same thing with sand, unless it's a real dense sand, you can get a straight line, but then you get a little moisture in the air and all of a sudden a big chunk will fall off. We never get that red clay, just pure clay. I can get red hard pan here, but a red clay like they got, like Digging OK does in Oklahoma. He's got some awesome digging material. Sticking to the bucket, that's for sure. Get this back wall while I'm here. Got a little shale there. What's nice with the Kobelco, bring the skid steer right down in. I'll taper a ramp in. Even if it didn't have a Kobelco, you can bring the skid steer in, just taper it. I rarely do. I usually dig them pretty precise where I don't need the skid steer. But if you got a walkout basement, you know, you want to bring the dozer in or skid steer, you might as well. Alright, that line is cut. Now it's just grab as much as you can. Break it off. Clanking the bucket like that on purpose, trying to get that material out. As you see, that material's stuck in there. Normally it gets annoying if you bottom your pins out. It's not good, really too good for it to do that to the ram. But when you're in this material, you do what you got to do. Otherwise you lose your efficiency big time. You're grabbing, losing a third of the bucket. It's a heavy scoop right there. You can hear that hydraulics working. Let's see where we are for grade here. Open the bucket all the way 90 degrees. Low bed. Gotta go down 3 inches. It's got a 2-inch window in it, so you know, but I would say that was 3, so I'll just pull back. Really rocky right down there now. Pull back, see what we got. Perfect. Perfect. Take out the middle. Catch you guys in a bit after this scoop. Getting hungry. Coming into the corner, we got a nice, I just pulled out a big real bolt. Oh, it was a piece of shell, man. Oh, she's got one right in the corner. There she goes. There she goes. Piece of shell. That one broke off. But I got a big square one, which is rare. All in one big chunk will save. As big as the bucket. Got the guys from Superior just showed up, so I'm going to shut down and go over some elevations and stuff with them. Then it's just about lunchtime. Here's the other piece of that boulder. Come on. There she is. They break up though when you hit them, you know, so it is what it is. Just after lunch, got the main basement done, and here's the connector we're going. I'll have this little chunk over there to throw back over there and use that firmer stuff. I'll feather that out for like the crane has to sit on, because that's all slippery top, so I want to put some of this down and hopefully it dries up and That's where I'll be putting all my stone anyways, and that will help with the crane pad. But everything's going good. Hit a couple big pieces of shell that broke up, and almost done with this basement. Get you on a time lapse when I do that last corner over there. But this is the connector in between the garage. So basically, I got the rest of this connector to be done on both sides, and then just a trench that goes around for the garage. Then just clean up my piles with the skid steer. Didn't even use the dozer like I was gonna, but we got a rock. Yeah, the laser on the boom's the hot setup. It keeps you from getting out of the machine if you work by yourself, and it also allows you to work by yourself, which is good. You don't have to have someone down in the hole checking grade all the time, just stand on a shovel and need them when you need them, you know. But it's faster, it's well worth the money. It's really not that expensive to get this system. It's not like the iDig or anything, and what I like about it is you can put it on any machine. You can put it on a skid steer bucket, dozer blade. It's a magnet, so it runs off your conventional laser. It's a Spectra system, you know. I think that's a CR700 receiver. It just got updated. I had two of them. I lost the one in the hole. Buried and alive. Well, I'll get you on a time lapse when we get on the other side. Very important to keep that line, run your tooth up and down that line to make sure she's straight before you dig. Now you keep your lines nice and straight. And just carve just a bit, tiny bit. Don't try to grab full buckets right in the front, you know, 6 inches. And let it build up. Once you get down a foot, then your banks will stay pretty good. Again, with the rocks we're dealing with, different scenario. But that's my technique anyways. Try to get the dirt as far away as I can. The guys can work around and keep it clean. Erosion, you don't want nothing coming in the hole. 160's got a good reach for its size, you know. I put this to any day, you know. Some guys say a 120 to 160 is the same amount of dirt moving, but wrong. I would put this 160 against a 200 to tell you the truth. I've had 200, so 160 is pretty fast. It's a great machine for digging foundations. Plus, you're allowed to tow it on a tag trailer. You could, in the used market, you could buy a 200 or 210 cheaper than you could buy a 160 or a 170. Because these are more favorable, for sure. Alright, the basement's done. Just gonna build a little ramp here, and this is where our daylight drain's gonna be going anyways. Just gonna build a little ramp for the skid steer to go down in, so I can grade the bottom out a little bit better and install my stone. The bottom is perfectly fine the way it is for stone, but you know, Dirt Boss likes it perfect. Door wasn't here. It's over to the left, but we won't notch that in until we know exactly where it is, till the walls are in. We're not going to guess, obviously. And this will let the guys go in and out also. It's not a deep hole anyways. It is in regulation with OSHA. There's no need to bench it. Alright, there's one ramp built. Nice and nice. Alright, basement's all graded with the skid steer for the most part. Within an inch or better. Time to do the garage. We had to step the laser, push the laser down 5 feet. There's a 5-foot step up, and it is just scratched in the surface, so that just shows you how much the grade has to come up in this area. I think we just got to go a foot in the ground here, and then they're 4-foot walls with the 8-inch stone, so that's 4'8". But we do that. That's why we got all this dirt. We're going to be pushing this around. We had to go with the elevation with the driveway coming in. We wanted a nice pitch coming out the garage doors, like a 6-inch pitch from the floor. That should do it, and that's what we got. So every lot is different. You got to pre-plan that. Ooh, we got a rock. Hang on. Don't go in. Right about there. I'll get out and shoot the grade. I can't put it on the stick because I'd be down into the bucket with the magnet. I don't have 5 foot there. Only about 4 foot. Making a little crane pad right there with this material to dry up that slickiness of the topsoil, because we're supposed to get a little rain. Let's cut this and go outside and check it. Give it a little smooth dube. I think it's still got to go down, but you don't want to go too deep. Although it don't make, because we just add stone. All right, just check that. Dead nuts. What's going on here? As you see, let's do this leg here, and then we'll connect the two. There she is. Over here. Run it straight. Looking. Always line up this part first, and then once it goes out, if it's off, then you adjust your boom to it, and then it should run straight back in as it does. Let's give it a cut job. Like I said, if we go a little too deep on that, it don't make. We'll just put 10 inches of stone under there to make the difference. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. But we won't go. We want to be perfect. Just closing out the garage. everything is done. That should do it. That should do it. Just gonna feather out some material. Work the skid steer around the edges, make sure there's no big rocks for nobody to trip and fall in the hole. And that's about it. Put the machines back. Fuel them up. Got the fuel cell in the ram. Just flatten out this little pile where the crane's supposed to sit. I'm probably gonna have to come in through here with my dump truck to dump the stone in the corner here. Then I can push it in the hole with the dozer. Figure if I can get a big rock right there. Just gotta get rid of that. If I could get to this corner right here, then I can just, like you said, dump right before the corner. Some will go in, some won't. Push the rest in, make a huge pile down there. Once I figure my quantities, and then I'll know what I need. Because it's going to be slick, you know, with this weather. We're going to get more rain. I don't think it's going to, once I come off this driveway, you know, into this topsoil stuff, because it's about a foot drop off the driveway, back tires are just going to sink. We'll get some of this firmer stuff up in here, and hopefully it works. Worst case, I'll bring my flotation mats. Probably bring them anyways. Then we're golden. Then we're golden. This gives me an initial landing. That should do it for now. Looks pretty good for now, I say. Cleaning up my piles. Just, you know, before we get rain, always clean your ruts, clean your piles, and then you can get around this place with the skid steer much easier. Less tracking, more money you make. Alright, let's get out and take a walk. Yeah. All locked up, safe for the weekend. Fueled up. Everything's cleaned up with the skid steer around so everybody can walk around safely. Got the old pad up over there for the crane and my dump truck. Like I said, if I could get to that corner, dump and just keep dumping 5, 6, 7 loads, whatever it takes to fill this thing up 8 inches. It'll be a lot easier than dumping over there and then come in with the skid steer, coming down here. If I could just dump, push with the dozer, stay down in here with the skid steer, we'll be good. Water starting to, as you can see, seek its level. It's all the way around. Starts to dissipate out over here where the gravel is, and it's better where the machines are, because that's when we did these perk tests and gradation reports, that's what it showed. Down here was more wet, up there was less. That's why we have the septic up there, but everything's looking good. My piles are pretty secure as far as stockpile. Ooh. See, that's why you got to move the rocks. But yeah, this one's a wrap. This one is a wrap. We'll catch you guys on the next one. It will be installing stone. You don't want to miss it. Later, guys.